My name is Lauren Cook, and I'm the CEO of Ellis Early Learning, and I'm also an Ellis mom. Ellis was founded in 1885 and strengthens Boston's diverse working families by providing the highest quality early education and care. We help over 250 children per year develop the social, emotional, and academic skills they need to be successful in school and in life. Home to 4 BPS UPK classrooms, we are honored to host all of you today. I'd like to welcome our esteemed speakers, Boston Mayor Michelle Wu, New England Conservatory President Andrea Kalin, Boston Public Schools Superintendent Mary Skipper, and President and CEO of ABCD Sharon Scott Chandler. As a nonprofit early childhood provider, we often have hopes and dreams for our children that are out of reach due to the lean operating margins within our field or the crippling teacher shortage that stifles our sector. Ellis has a long wish list that falls under the umbrella of when we win the lottery. And something on top of that wish list has always been consistent music programming for our children. Thus, as you might imagine, we are absolutely thrilled about the announcements to be made today. I'd now like to turn the program over to Mayor Wu, who is a true champion of early childhood education. Welcome to Ellis.
Thank you so much to Lauren and your entire team for all that you do day in and day out to ensure that we are really providing an example of what innovation looks like in this field, of creativity, of collaboration, and we couldn't be prouder to work with you on so many different initiatives. And thank you so much for hosting us at your beautiful space today. I want to thank also all the incredible speakers who were recognized. It is always an honor to see them and much less to share a microphone with them. And I will highlight one more who is humbly sitting in the back, even though she's really in charge of all of us here. The chair of the Boston School Committee, Ms. Jerry Robinson. Thank you for your leadership. And we have with us here today as well from the administration, our senior advisor and the person who keeps early childhood ticking within City Hall and has already done so much to show that more is possible. We're trying from every possible angle to build partnerships, rethink how we're connecting funding to outcomes, and I couldn't be more blessed to have her on the team. Director Kristen McSwain, thank you so much for all that you do. And you'll see him at just about everything that we're doing because he has a role in helping to strategize and pull all the pieces together. Our Chief of Policy, Mike Firestone, thank you so much. Also at early child care user as well, like many of us are now living the struggle, having recently been through it. I'm now at 5 and 8 years old, so we're past potty training, but there are new challenges. The leaders that you see assembled up here, the many who are represented in this room and throughout the floors of this building and many spaces across our city, really represent Boston's commitment to ensuring we're always leading the way in fostering creative and cognitive progress for our young people. From holding space for our littlest learners to explore their musical talents, to hosting UPK programs and empowering more of Boston's working parents. We are always trying to do more and ensure that we can really wrap around the whole child. The way that government structures are often set up, the way that community tends to think of government, it's often very siloed, right? This department does this, the school department does that, our health department does this, when in fact you speak to any one of our family members who is going through the churn of trying to secure early ed and childcare or get to work on time, or anyone who has lived it understands just how intimately all of these challenges are interconnected and in fact have to be solved together. So today we are excited to launch an incredible new partnership between the Boston Public Schools and the New England Conservatory to bring even more music learning opportunities to our students. The $14.5 million grant that NEC has secured will help us expand music programs for school communities across the city in order to provide robust music education and instruments at no cost to our students and their families. This means our young people will focus on discovering and nurturing their passion. Their families will rest easy that this is one more way in which they're connected to the opportunities available in our city. And for me, this is something that I don't know, when we first met in my office, I don't know if you could tell how much I was trying to contain my personal excitement, and also just a flood of emotion and memories, because even seeing the kind of tiny sized violin and instruments set out in the instrument petting zoo over here reminds me so much of what mattered to me when I was growing up. I think most folks have seen or heard that I have a piano in my office at City Hall. That was a very key piece of moving into the office, was to locate where the city had a spare piano that we could put in this location. We recently partnered with the North Bennett Street School to have it retuned, and so this is we're now moving into year 2 of what it means to really build this into the daily rhythms and routines of the administration and my office. And it's because, for me, growing up in an immigrant family, music was our connection, my family's connection, to transcend the language barriers that my family faced, cultural barriers, the ways in which communication could be a burden. Music was a way to unlock all of that and connect on a different level. It is where I go when I am anxious, right? Part of my, during the campaign, the debate preparations always included just a block of time to play piano and clear my mind, and now I will, sad to say, bother some of the staff in the immediate area when I have a problem to work through or think about. It always comes with, you can tell if it's Rachmaninoff versus Liszt or Debussy, what the mood is. And growing up, it was also, dabbling in playing violin or singing in the choirs or dance, the way to really think about how a human being could connect in the moment of performance. Sometimes it's sitting next to your piano teacher or instructor and to be in sync and show them what you've accomplished over the last week. Or if you get the chance to be a part of an orchestra or a group that gets to play together and connect with your audience in that brief moment, there's nothing like being able to sit in the present moment when you are sharing something that can only be reciprocated and connected in the same room, face to face, absorbing that same experience. We, I think, as a city, have, as part of our identity, many ways that we build community. And we're often talking about our championship sports teams, although yesterday was a little bit of a tough day on that front in the city. We're often talking about our major employers and sectors like healthcare and tech and finance and higher education. I am hopeful and determined that our identity as a home to some of the most brilliant artists and creative community anywhere in the country and the world, that will come to the forefront as we continue to highlight what is happening and make it even more accessible, starting through partnerships with our own, very own young people in the Boston Public Schools. Music and the performing arts brings us together. It connects us across cultural, political, and social boundaries and barriers, helps us find joy, strength, and hope even on our darkest days. Already, we have partnerships to expand arts education and opportunities with the MGM Music Hall, Boston Symphony Orchestra, Mass Art, and so many world-renowned institutions based here in Boston. And so we couldn't be more thrilled that the New England Conservatory will really help us chart new ground and become a real leader in this list of arts partners touching the lives of our young people and families across the city. So thank you again to Andrea and to the entire NEC team for this wonderful opportunity. I am looking forward and couldn't be more thrilled for the symphony of joy that this will bring to schools all across the city. And we look forward to deepening this partnership and creating even more partnerships in this way with all of our anchor institutions who are so committed to the health and well-being of our city and our families. This is really a wonderful example of one of our partners coming forth with an idea and the city then saying, let us make every possible step easier to facilitate this so that we can chart not only this partnership, but a template for any other institutions who also want to participate in this way and give their best resource, their talents to our community. We can make these partnerships work, and the impacts are just astounding. So thank you so much, everyone. It's truly an honor to be here.
Thank you, Mayor Wu, for your inspirational words and partnering with the New England Conservatory to make this all possible. I'd now like to introduce the president of the New England Conservatory, Dr. Andrea Kalin. It is because of Dr. Kalin that more children will have access to music education through the conservatory by providing the resources and instruction for these opportunities. Welcome, President Kalin.
Thank you, Laura, and thank you, Mayor Wu, Superintendent Skipper, Sharon, and also Chairperson Robinson. It's just a delight to be here today. This is very exciting. Music is transformational. It connects the whole person, the mind, the body, the spirit, and so it really can unlock the whole child and ignite the unique creative potential within them. We know that music can help with intellectual development, absolutely, we know that. But equally, music can help a child's social and emotional development. It can help their sense of identity, their connection. It can help them belong to something and to become their own person. It can help them unlock doors of possibilities that they may never have imagined otherwise for themselves. Mayor Wu's commitment to support children and families in Boston, particularly early childhood, is the reason that NEC has entered this partnership to provide more access to music instruction through NEC Prep, funded by an overwhelmingly generous $14.5 million gift by an anonymous donor. As a conservatory, NEC is really fortunate to have the strength of our prep school. NEC Prep offers music instruction to more than 1,300 students each week who participate in lessons, private lessons, and ensembles, and music classes on our campus. These funds will be used at the outset to expand exposure to early childhood music education and to increase access through scholarships to NEC Prep by 150%. The partnership to develop a pilot in early childhood music will start with 2 early childhood centers, Ellis Early Learning, where we are delighted to be today. It's so much fun, it's just a wonderful thing, and also ABCD Head Start. And new programming will really unlock the door and provide really amazing foundational music instruction for young learners in these spaces. The scholarships will offer increased access to NEC Prep and ensure access to private music lessons, to music classes, and to ensembles, and access to instruments at no cost to students. I know firsthand what music can do for a child. I remember vividly when I was offered music lessons in school, and it was just a wonderful experience. We all had to file past the piano, and we were supposed to find middle C. I played middle C, it's just one note, but in that moment, the whole world opened up for me. That experience opened the door for me for music lessons, and that shaped my entire life. Music can lead you to places you never imagined. A young pianist who became the first woman president of NEC, or a young pianist who became the first woman elected mayor of the city of Boston. The possibilities are endless. And now Boston students will have new doors open to the possibilities that music can create for them. We are thrilled to be part of this effort and to open the door for more students and more possibilities. Mayor Wu, thank you for this opportunity.
I neglected to recognize one person who's very, very important on the city side, and it's because she, I think characteristically you can tell she's an expert in the art space because she took the spot directly behind the speaker so that no one else would have to have that obstructed view of the stage. But our director, our chief of arts and culture for the city, Cara Elliott Ortega, thank you so much for all that you do for the city.
Thank you. Thank you, President Kalin, for providing Ellis students and so many others with the opportunity to learn music and experience all the benefits that they'll enjoy as a result. Next, I would like to welcome Boston Public Schools Superintendent Mary Skipper to the podium. As a BPS mom, I'd like to express my deepest appreciation for the superintendent's leadership and your commitment to our children. So thank you so much and welcome to Ellis.
Thank you so much. I was saying to Tony Beatrice, our Director of Arts, and as we were coming in, this is the third announcement, thanks to Mayor Wu's leadership and advocacy of music and expansion of music within BPS, as just such a positive impact on our young people. So thank you, Mayor, for being that champion for music and for our children in general. Thank you to President Kalin, and thank you to Lauren as well for having us here today. And congratulations to ABCD and to Sharon. You know, this really is such an incredible celebration. I mean, it is one thing to invest in the arts and invest in music, but to do it for our youngest students, some of whom just came in, but to do it for them and to allow them the opportunity to feel alive, to express themselves, to gain skills so that they can grow as musicians and be able to enjoy it in the way that the mayor and the president here do. That's such a dream for us within the BPS. We had a concert at bowling that happened last week on Friday. We had 525 students in the BPS come to the bowling building and offer a concert. Some sang, some played instruments, and what I can say is that music in that moment was such a convener of the community. We had people walk off the street just to listen to the children. We had staff out of offices and lined up on the stairs just to listen to the music and the children as the makers of that music. And so it's in that moment, in that power of music, that we're here today for our youngest students to have that opportunity. When I look at them, I think of a student that sat down at the piano who is from the O'Brien, Shaleka Joseph. Remember that name. She's a junior at the O'Brien. She self-composed and played several numbers that had us mesmerized. And it's that dream, that opportunity, that whole child education that we're here to celebrate today. And thanks to the generosity of whoever that anonymous donor is, thank you from the bottom of my heart. It means so much for us, for the Ellis, for ABCD Head Start. And thank you mostly for having a mayor in our city that really is a champion of the arts and education. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Skipper, for your words and your leadership. Now I'm delighted to welcome my friend and colleague in early childhood education and the other partner for the pilot funded through this generous grant, President and CEO of ABCD, Sharon Scott Chandler. Welcome, Sharon.
Thank you and good afternoon. Mayor Wu, President Kalin, Superintendent Skipper, thank you for including ABCD in this groundbreaking music education program. And thank you to Lauren for hosting us this afternoon. We are proud to join Ellis Early Learning in this initiative, which will bring the expertise, the passion, and the humanity of the New England Conservatory to our youngest learners. Research tells us that consistent exposure to music through listening, learning to play an instrument, or taking voice lessons strengthens cognitive and social and emotional skills in all children, including those 0 to 5. But we know it. We don't need research, right? We see it in our classrooms every day. And actually, Jerry Robinson, when she was at the Children's Museum, brought music to our classrooms decades ago. And so we know how important this component and programming is of our curriculum at ABCD. Music is an incredibly fun and broad way to develop our brains and our social emotional well-being. I too know the joy of music. When I was an early About 8 years old, through high school, played the clarinet and in the band, and so experienced the joy, the discipline, teamwork that comes from being part of that community. But too often, the reality is in our communities and in under-resourced communities, children don't always have the opportunity. So we are so grateful to be able to have the opportunity to incorporate that access into our programming. We serve close to 2,000 children, birth to 5 years, with comprehensive services that include not only the education, but health, nutrition, and family support services with intensive parent engagement. And everything about this program aligns harmoniously with Head Start and its focus on the whole child and the whole family, including the unique aspect of the curriculum that partners with families and caregivers to encourage their children's participation in supporting their musical education. Today, our children will begin an exciting musical journey, and I look forward to expanding that across the city. Thank you again for inviting us to be a part of this incredible partnership.
Thank you, Sharon. And I think now we are open for a few relevant questions. Is that right, Mayor? Yes. Mayor Wu? On-topic questions.
We'll do off-topic.
All right. Well, I'm very excited that we have some UPK friends from our building next door who are going to come and enjoy some of the instruments that they'll be learning next year. So friends, you're welcome to head over there to the carpet, and you can give your signs to our special guests because we made you welcome signs. And you can play some music.